Good evening, everyone, and welcome to another episode of our Legend of the Five Rings campaign, Bone, Blood, and Blade. I am your storyteller. My name is Will. I'll be your guide this evening as we pick up. Last time we were with our crew, we were down one scorpion. We have a full crew tonight, though, so that's exciting. We opened up with them arriving at the waterfall and how they noticed that the earth was carved behind the waterfall into a kind of hole in the earth that led further down. They found a gradual slope next to an earthen slide of wet earth, and Hida Agurro lit a lantern and immediately threw himself down the slide, with Doji and Tomorimori following suit. The Isawa called up a fire kami into her hand and immediately started to follow them down the actual gradual slope. So we got to see the crane and the dragon and the crab kind of slide down into a cavern that was lit by bioluminescent lichen or lichen that reacted to the light of the lantern, illuminating the room, the cavern in greens and blues. They heard someone shushing themselves and the creaking of metal, and they started to notice there were cages hanging from the ceiling off of the ground, and one of them threw a rock into a cage to try and get a reaction, where they actually got to hear a gasp, somebody gasp, and they stepped forward and tried to introduce themselves and were hushed by some of the people in the cages that looked to be about teenage young people, adolescents at the youngest, young children and the such. And in the reflection of the water, though, they could see that their actual shapes were that of Naga, that these were young Naga that had been captured. And as they tried to release some of them, they managed to release two of them before some of the spider creatures actually attacked the group. And we got to see that these are very different from the ones they faced in Shiromori Sato. They got to see that the Naga themselves, although they were badly hurt and it looked like they had been through some kind of torture, once they were in the water, that they could heal themselves using its restorative properties. Once the spider attacked, though, trouble befell the group as Agurro fell to an epileptic seizure, as his rolls are not great when it comes to that. We got to see that the doji could not cut through the armor of this spider crab thing, and unfortunately they had to take Agurro out of the cave and kind of do a tactical retreat. They saw the Isawa call up a blast of earth with a jade strike, but it barely did anything to the creature, except it did force it back up the mountain, and as they rushed up, they saw that some of its blood erupted out and immediately disintegrated some of the members of their troop. And as they were running up the slope, they bumped into their scorpion Shugenja, who had been not meandering, but definitely moseying down, as I don't believe that he would have been in a rush to jump into anything under the earth, away from his prized element of air. And we left off with them emerging from the waterfall, as they were worried about how to handle their situation. And so let's find our group. Hello, everybody. It's good to see your faces.
What's up, everyone?
Hello.
Hi.
Hello.
Missed you. I missed you guys.
Missed you too.
We missed you too.
All right. That's enough sappy shit. So, the three of you emerge out of the cave. You have Agurro on Tamori's shoulder. I believe you have the lion is dead. The Isawa is dead.
Mm-hmm.
So it's just the four of you.
That's all we came with? That's all who we came with?
Yeah, we
There's-
didn't come
yeah.
with a lot of people.
There were 6 of
I
you.
thought... All right, well. And we kind of just scooted Soshi, like, don't even try. I think that's my favorite part.
The other
is
way.
that
The
you
other way.
slowly... what?
Yeah,
the
yeah.
other way?
No, that's what I'm saying. That's like, as he's coming down, like you're running up, and you're like, no, the other way,
Yeah, he's
You're
got
just
his he's got his parasol up. Just
Well,
Yeah,
Soshi would instantly see the worried and defeated look on Doji's face,
Why'd you
on
take
my
so
character's
long coming
face.
down? Why'd you take so long? You took a long time coming down.
All right,
Actually,
so seeing,
I will literally walk right past you and not say a word.
so seeing Doji's obviously crestfallen sadness, Soshi would try to push down his sense of arousal.
Well,
And
is that
then he
Is
would-
that sadness? It's like
It says so what?
it's not sadness. It's like you ever seen somebody who's really worried, but like
no.
yeah, it's like yeah.
yeah, like that.
That's a shame.
But
And
you see,
and by the way, if you don't get out of my way, I will shove you out of my way when I walk up.
yeah,
Oh
you
no,
see,
seeing you being all surly, you can't see his reaction behind the mask, but he offers a very polite little nod and then gracefully kind of does a little pivot and allows you to sway on past.
you do see that the lion and the phoenix that you came with are not following them. The giantess that is Tomori Mori is carrying Hida Agurro, fireman style. And there is a rush to them wanting to not be in the cave anymore.
Well, I should let you know I did get the rice I went out for.
I
So
really
we didn't.
before you
have
even
that
finish
now.
a sentence, I don't want to hear any of your crap right now.
I was merely reporting the
None.
success of my mission.
And I keep walking up.
You come out from behind the waterfall.
Head high, Doji. Head high.
You come out from behind the waterfall, and there's a moment where you feel the earth tremble. There's a shudder as almost everything is exhaling, and you hear the sound of stone crumbling against stone, and you see just that kind of backdraft of dust and sand coming up the cave as the inner cavern has collapsed in on itself.
So, Tamori is kind of doing the calculations in their head, but we got 2 of them out, right?
You got Hida out.
Hey, wait a minute. What
No.
about Shukenja? Did she die? No, she didn't die.
Yeah.
She
Yeah,
died?
No,
I
I'm
thought
saying-
she scared it off and then
No. Remember the blood erupted out
the
and hit
acid.
her.
Yes, I forgot. You're right.
Hit her and
Sorry.
the lion.
You're right. You're right.
I'm talking about the Naga.
Oh, the Naga disappeared. Yeah, you don't know if they
Yeah,
got
we
out or
got-
not.
We got 2. We at least rescued 2 of them.
Yeah.
But there were, like you said, there were how many cages? Like 6.
6.
Yes. Yeah.
6 of them.
Would you like me to attempt to heal him?
Yes.
It might make him
Immediately.
easier to carry.
Why would that make it? It doesn't matter.
Hold on a
Yes.
second. Because I've been around Higa long enough to
Hmm.
know that a healing spell is not going to help him right now. I look at you and I say, "Don't bother. He'll be like that for a while."
There's nothing.
He's some method of creature that healing the
And if you
spirit
say
cannot heal.
you say a word of what's happened to him right here, you will deal with me.
Is that a threat, Doji-san?
I just tilt my head. You've never
some
heard him
impassive-
actually threaten. Ever. Actually, hell, the dragon has never heard me threaten ever.
I don't think so.
There's just this impassive, because he has a full face mask.
Oh, I know. I
It's
know.
all featureless. There's not even a tilt of the head, just a simple nod.
And I just turn around and keep walking.
We
And I go,
can
we are
discuss
in
your
great
decorum
we're in greater danger now than we've ever been. My blade couldn't even penetrate its carapace.
When he says that,
explains your crestfallen attitude.
when he says that, you actually notice that the katana that he's holding is not his. It is very much more simpler in its design and definitely carrying more of a lion coloring than a crane color.
Your blade is different, Doji-san.
My blade snapped in two when I attacked it. Its blood was acid, and it literally spilled guts all over our two companions and killed them instantly.
So, if I'm understanding correctly, you both have had a very tumultuous last few hours.
Mhm.
I would say, though, that it is I would not preach, but in my experience, the ability to appear in control is a valuable one. And before we get back to a more civilized area, Doji, you may want to compose yourself. Right now, you have the look of a man who's not in control. Threatening a friend, for example, is not a very camaraderie.
I look at you, and the eyebrow goes up, and I look at the dragon, and I go, "Did I threaten you?"
I'm sorry, I'm really
turn around
used to
and I
hearing
keep
threats
walking.
and common phrases.
And I turn around and I keep walking.
Tamori-san, is there a reason I cannot heal him?
I'm unsure why you can't heal him, but the person who's known him the longest says that you can't heal him, so I'm gonna trust Doji on this one.
Well, if our leader says that I shouldn't do so, I will refrain from doing so. The offer is open, however. Are you wounded at all?
I don't believe I am. Actually, I don't remember if I am, but I don't think I am.
Does Soshi have medicine?
Actually,
Yoshi has medicine? Pfft, that's what magic's for. I do think I might have medicine. Yeah, I do
That's
have.
what magic is for.
Yeah.
Spoken like a cleric.
I'm a cleric.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I do have. I have healing magic. I don't have the healing skill.
Oh, you have medicine trained.
I do.
Yeah. Says you got 2
Then
ranks.
yes, I have healing medicine and magic. I'm a really good cleric.
If I could have you roll your medicine then, just as you're kind of perusing and looking at Hida Agurro as Tamori Mori walks by with him.
It's been so long, I forget how the buttons work.
Been a while.
There we go.
It's been a while. Yeah, the T is for trained.
Thank you.
Since I said I'm sorry.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Christ.
Wow.
Excuse me.
I'm a good cleric.
That's a good roll for the beginning of the game.
That's a great roll to come back
That's
to.
a very good sign.
As Tamori walks by you after the exchange, and they're trying to catch up to the doji, you notice that Hida Agurro isn't slumped over their shoulders like some dead body. Like he is tensed. Like his body is rigid, like a fallen tree. His eyes are rolled back, and there's froth on the corners of his mouth.
I believe your friend may be poisoned.
I look back at him, and I go, he's fine.
You're right. Far be it from me with my medical training, knowledge of mysticism, and call of
Apparently,
the spirits to...
very limited training, and I'm surprised how the scorpion have ears everywhere and you don't know about this. Not as impressive as I thought.
Well, we find it best not to pry into other people's affairs.
I laugh out loud.
And I smile behind my mask because that was a moment of levity meant to break the tension.
Yeah. I think given your handicap that you would have definitely have seen some of the more disparate and forgotten people of samurai castes. So you can recognize this, especially with the 31. This is a fit. This is a seizure. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Definitely
And
a dishonorable curse for a samurai to have.
Doji-san, I apologize. I was hoping it was poison.
Not a word.
Is that a command?
Yes.
Interesting. Well, after you, my liege.
How do I put this? Those of greater standing of you or I know of this and have kept it quiet. I suggest you do the same.
Well, like you said, we have eyes and ears everywhere, except where they're not wanted.
And I turn around and walk.
Okay. Walking back towards the village, the town.
Actually, hold on. A good 5 minutes away, we sit down, and I sit my friend down, and I wait. I will get some water.
Yeah,
and
following
stuff
the
ready for
river
him.
is easy to just kind of.
Yeah, that's where I just sit down and I wait, and I get some water ready for him.
Yep.
Yeah.
And once you notice that once you kind of come to a rest area that you're comfortable being away from this den of monstrosities, that just kind of putting him down and that sensation of the adrenaline starting to kind of wean itself out of your systems, he immediately kind of starts to soften, starts to let his hands kind of fall to his side, his eyes start to come back, and his breathing becomes regular.
And he's not conscious yet, though.
He is. He's starting to blink and kind of make eye contact with you, make eye contact with Doji. And you notice that he does his best to not look in Soshi's direction.
I give him some water. As soon as I see that he can move his hands, I put a cup in his hands.
I feel the need to say that you have nothing to be embarrassed about. Speaking as someone who also has a affliction in the eyes of many, I will never judge you. And he holds up one hand and cannot hold up the other because people are watching.
Only because people are watching. But he nods and he takes.
It's gonna be like that scene out of Brotherhood of the Wolf. I don't know if anybody's seen that movie.
Yeah, of course I have.
Pops the corset out and then the chitinous black clawed hand comes out. That's what.
Yeah, I remember that scene.
Yeah, great movie.
I heard that movie was garbage.
That movie was amazing. Stop it.
It was great.
Okay.
It's French. You love it.
Oh yeah, of course.
I'll give him a little bit of time.
Je m'appelle oui oui.
To collect his wits. And then I tell him everything that happened down there. Because I know that he will be asked.
I pay very close attention.
Yeah.
Well, I'm kind of doing it for both of your sakes, but mainly for him. I describe how this spider thing was bigger than the ones we originally fought. The acid blood is new. Yeah. And yeah, fuck it. I say it, and I tell the scorpion that they were capturing nagas like the one we met earlier, but children of them.
How far are we from where from the site we were supposed to be going back to, like where all the clans are?
It's on the other side of the river a little bit.
Yeah, you gotta follow the river down for about a day.
So, how many miles roughly are we talking?
Roughly, I would say about 50.
Why are you smiling about that?
He's
got magic bullshit.
I don't know why you immediately think I'm up to something when I smile. It's actually kind of
because you're asking questions.
Because you're a scorpion, and anytime a scorpion smiles, they are up to something. It's kind of like their modus operandi.
I
would need
the MO.
I would need 3 raises. Yeah,
what are you trying to pull?
Now that we're up here, do I feel my kami return?
Yes.
Okay.
So
I am now a little more at ease.
Yep. So while he's explaining everything, I will be sifting through my scrolls, and given my school, I can cast spells surreptitiously even when being observed. Part of my school training. And I'm going to cast where is it? I just had it pulled up. It's a simple spell. Legacy of Kaze no Kami, which I would need 3 raises for to hit 50 miles. But basically what it will do is the conversation as it is being relayed out loud is being relayed out loud to my superior at the Scorpion encampment. So it's literally word for word.
Dude, if you would have cast that in the open, I wouldn't have had said anything, because if we die before we get back,
if he asked you, you might have said no.
No, yeah, you're right. But
so it's better.
The way I'm thinking right now, dude. If we die before we get back and nobody knows,
that's actually why he's doing it. He's trying to be a
super smart, dude. Like, really smart.
Okay. So your school rank is 2, so you automatically have a range of 20 miles.
Yeah. So I need to make, and each raise
gives you 10 miles. Yeah.
So I need 3 raises.
It's an air spell, so don't you get a free raise?
I do,
because it is your affinity.
So I need two raises.
So you need actually 2 raises. You get a free one. Okay.
Yeah.
It is a level 1 spell, so you would need to make a DC of 25, TN 25. And you got 66?
Holy
did that happen?
crap, bro.
Jesus.
I don't think I've ever seen a roll that high before.
Correct.
That's crazy. One of his dice exploded twice.
Jesus.
I did a great job.
You did
okay, so he completely overshot, and the head of the scorpion got the message.
I mean, I'm cool with that too, but
I think the entire
scorpion goes, huh?
The entire country got it.
The entire Scorpion clan knows this conversation.
I mean, I'll tack more of those raises onto individuals, so like more people get the message. But
yeah. So as the conversation's happening, the kami works itself around the group itself, and you can feel that there's a gust of wind that just kind of comes in and starts to cool yourselves down. You can feel the heat from that excess adrenaline kind of starting to wean off of you. just kind of misting away as the coolness of the temperature just starts to dance across your bodies, and the sweat doesn't immediately get replaced by more sweat as you wipe it away. And for sure, the Soshi knows that the relevant parts of this conversation, at least, are going to be getting to someone that can definitely get the ball rolling as far as the city is concerned.
Yeah.
How much of the conversation do you actually let slip?
No, I just tell what happened down there, but I wouldn't tell him what happened to him. I'll just tell him what happened. Yeah. I'll describe how my blade broke, even though I hit perfect. My blade snapped like tinder.
Yeah.
And that the acid, but I wouldn't describe what happened to him because that's not an important part of the story. Why would I tell him what happened to him? He knows what happened.
Yeah.
And I will refrain from being a jerk and speaking any of that out loud because that part of the conversation would go back too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But after the pertinent information is shared, and it feels like a minute has gone by, the wind starts to die down.
Because I don't know any better, I thank my kami.
Shall we be about it then?
Maury,
Yeah, let's get going. We have that guy waiting for us with the boat.
I think the person who tells us whether or not we get going is Agurro. I don't think it's us. Unless Agurro doesn't mind me carrying him the rest of the way.
And he immediately shakes his head. No, I can walk. I'm fine to walk.
Prove it.
And you see him lift one leg and he kind of stretches it, and he lifts the other leg and then he stretches that. They work.
Yeah. Now do it vertically instead of horizontally.
I know Agurro. Do I see he's setting himself up for failure?
Yeah. Do you know that this is...
Okay, so I will step in to help him save face.
No, this is him being masculine.
And I will say, you know what? You guys need to give me a minute. When I fell back on those rocks, my back is killing me right now.
Sure.
And I reach back in my bag and I start taking stuff out to make tea.
Okay.
Hold on. Wait a minute. I want to see if you actually convince me. I don't think I would be convinced, but I want to know. Can I roll an investigation?
Ooh.
I want to see if Doji is choosing. Look at him fucking leaving the fucking camera. I want to see if Doji...
So I have to roll sincerity, I guess.
Yeah.
That would be sincerity. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, look at that. I'm trained.
Well, fuck me.
29.
Fuck. Tamori doesn't know dick.
I'm a crane, bro.
For Tamori,
31.
You got 31.
I'm very good at 3 things.
Fair enough.
And I
Yeah, you would know.
fine.
You know I did it for him to save face.
Yeah. Tamori just has this moment where they look at him. I imagine them squinting, like that disbelieving kind of fry face.
No, not even that, dude. I'm not even paying attention to him. I'm making the tea.
Oh no. Tamori is the one that's just kind of like
I got it.
squinting at you, like giving you the fry face.
Not even looking, just
from Futurama. And then just having the revelation that this man could die tomorrow. So this is probably true. He's that old.
That's right. Doji
I have a
is
question.
time.
Doji is...
Did anybody else spend void except me?
A cat behind Ben.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to do a tea ceremony then.
Okay.
To see if I could get anybody. I know I spent a void. I want to get my void back.
Yeah. Okay.
No.
Sure.
Bro,
Ooh.
Your tea
Ooh.
sucked ass.
I'm too shaken. I'm too shaken by
Yeah.
everything that's happened.
Wait,
no.
can I try? I don't have any. I'm not trained, but can I try? Like, can
I
you
mean-
fail and then I try?
No. So he.
Yeah.
All of my tea tastes like deceit.
So he lays out the tatami mat. He lays out like very, very structurally rigid. Like you've seen him go through this motion at least 60 times. This is something that Tamori Mori has had to suffer when in their relationship with Doji.
Yeah.
And so as he's putting them out, like in your head, you're like, all right, and now the spoon goes there. There's the spoon, and now the little brush goes there. There's the brush.
Thing. Yep.
Now he's gonna pull out the bowl, and the moment that he's going through it, you see him. There's a visible shaking to him that you haven't seen before, and there's a moment where he brings the bowl down to where it's supposed to go, but his hand kind of flies a little too far forward, and there's a clack as the main cup where he's supposed to mix the tea with a little bit of water to kind of soften it and get it going, comes in contact with the pot, and you see both of them crack.
And literally,
And you see me wince.
Tamori literally gasped because this is like the first time Doji's made like a very big error.
Yep.
And then tries
Evidently,
to cover.
your wounds are worse than we thought they were, Doji-san.
Ooh, are you within reach? Are you within reach?
I probably
No,
am.
you know what? I look at him.
Hold on, wait a second, Peter. Shut your fucking mouth.
Okay.
The moment that he says that, after I gasp, I just like fucking. It's like one of those mother back of the head smacks. Boom! Shut the fuck up.
I attempt to sway out of the way because that would hurt, and I don't like it.
Okay.
All right, what do I roll for?
I'm assuming that would be jujitsu, since that's
It would be jujitsu.
You can roll out of it with jujitsu, and it would be jujitsu to kind of try to smack him. So oppose jujitsu
as
rolls.
well.
Yep.
Awesome.
Jujitsu versus jujitsu.
Holy!
Ooh, my kung fu is better than your kung fu.
You've angered the dragon.
Stop.
Well, let me find it. I haven't rolled yet.
Yeah.
Oh, that's true. You're really good at jujitsu.
31
I am.
is the number to beat. 31. It is the target number.
It is the tie.
There is a near.
This is literally the first time anybody has seen him display any kind of combat skill
Yeah.
either.
Yeah, there is a very similar moment to like a spider sense tingle going off in Soshi's mind, and you see out of the corner of your eye the gesture of this massive form's limb coming in your direction, and before contact is made, there's a roll out of the way. Very John Wick, one-armed John Wick of you. And Omori's hand does not come in contact with the back of this person's head. It is just that barest kind of brush against the kind of cloth that is clumped up in the back of the neck. But you're sure that you should have hit him square in the back of the head. This is some dexterous athletic display from Soshi.
I look Soshi in the face. Don't. That's all I say. Don't.
The entire time both of you did that, I'm staring down at the tea set, and my hair is not even perfectly tied back right now. There's a few strains, which is completely out of place for Doji, and he just calmly puts everything back to where it's supposed to be, and finishes pouring the tea.
Soshi, for once, says nothing because he's so irrationally proud of himself for what just happened that he can't even form words. He's just ecstatic.
I
Try it
dodged
again.
like a champ.
Try it again. Try it again.
There's gonna come a time.
I'm a big bad crab. Yeah, the one-armed scorpion managed to dodge. Ugh.
Woo!
Try it again. Try it again.
Let's run it back. No, because I
Yeah.
can't do that more than like once.
Yeah.
In a stand-up fight, I can't take anybody in this group.
But yeah, you see the doji. There's a very still moment, and it is very crane-like, and it's one of the few times that Tamori has actually kind of seen the stillness that is kept under lock and key, or rather like presented full front when it comes to the crane, but it's off. This is a still moment that is not like him being a doting father figure or a kind of interested teacher. This is painful.
Mm-hmm.
This hurts, and even Agurro is just kind of staring off into the distance, like once he sees the damage and once he sees how it affects his friend, like even he's kind of hurt by what's happened. And as Doji finishes the tea ceremony, and there is this very kind of somber cleanup, Agurro just kind of leans forward.
I leave the tea set where it is.
And he picks up the cracked bowl, the little kind of mortar, the pestle. Very quietly, he just goes, "You can just tell her that I broke it.
Nope.
It'll be better that way."
It's okay. You know, tumbling around fighting giant spiders, things break sometimes.
Tamori has a thought and makes a decision.
Here we
There's
go.
probably, yeah, oh yeah. There's probably a very proper way to take and drink the tea. I'm gonna roll my etiquette and
Okay.
see if I could cheer my crane up just a little bit by being fucking fancy. Ready, set? I'm so fancy! Fuck!
Well, that for you, that's
26.
amazingly fancy.
That's amazingly fancy.
So I'm gonna put on a show, you stupid bitch. I'm gonna look so good drinking this tea.
Which, by the way, probably tastes bitter as hell.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck. I mean, you're
Yeah.
not even gonna see that bitter on my face because I'm gonna be so good at all of this.
So good.
Tell him.
So
am
good.
Fascinated by what's happening right now in character. This is the thing that is happening, and I'm here for it.
Oh yeah. There is a moment where you see this interaction between the Hida and the crane, and it is somber. There is a very stoic, kind of dead vibe to this meeting. And Tamori has probably seen livelier wakes than what's happening here. And the
Tamori.
moment the tea hits your mouth, light bulb.
Mhm.
You're gonna save everything.
Of course, I know what I'm doing.
Correct. And you, what do you think would be the way in Tamori's mind that this vibe gets rectified?
So I haven't done a ton of like personal like Ray research on tea ceremonies themselves. But I know there's a certain way that you sit. I know there's a certain way that you pour it out. I know there's a certain way that you're drinking it, like which hand it is.
Mm-hmm.
Every decision that Tamori makes is correct. Every single one. And I don't know what it is, but I know that I do it right.
Yeah. Tea ceremonies are at least 2 hours long. Most average 4 hours. So it's like even with like the little hiccups that you saw and with that somberness, like there is an almost crane like you have seen this so many times from him that you are, I think it starts as a mimicry kind of thing where it's just like this is how it should be done because this is the way that he does it.
Energy matched.
Yeah, and it is just almost beautifully recreated. Like him and Hida Agurro are just kind of going through the motions, but you are like tucking your sleeve, grabbing the cup, bringing it up. It is the closest I think we have ever gotten to seeing Tamori Mori in a court kind of atmosphere and fitting in.
I mean, I looked exactly like the fucking crane, so
yeah.
If that didn't brighten this mood, nothing will.
Actually, there's a smile on my face, and I nod to you. And I drink my tea, and I go, not as bitter as I thought.
Good.
Yeah.
I'm glad that all those. I'm glad you paid attention to the last 15 tea ceremonies.
Oh, it wasn't you. It was just I just learned this on my own. I've just had this within me the whole time.
Wait a minute. Hold on. There's a moment of proud father almost. Wait a minute. You were practicing on your own?
Now you did it.
I take a long sip of tea.
There's this really proud look on my face. So we've been here for 2 hours. So Agurro could probably walk by now, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Give me a second. I get up. I go to the water. I wet my face. I wet my hair. I pull my hair back. I reach into my bag. I pull on my other kimono, my plain one. I put it on perfectly like a crane.
Yep.
And I turn around. Let's go.
I look at Agurro again.
Much better.
You sure?
Yeah, and again, he lifts up
depart-
his legs one at a time.
Before we depart, is the tea set being damaged going to be an issue?
It's been in the family for a while, and it was a gift from my wife. I'll deal with it.
May I?
I raise
He
an
just
eyebrow.
holds up his one gloved hand,
I hand you the cup.
and he kind of pivots it a little bit, and then he drops it. Not on a rock, but on something relatively smooth, like mossy, and basically he drops it. Oh, forgive my clumsiness. It appears I've damaged your bowl.
You didn't have to do that.
Do what? You were injured, and that may have impacted your ability to perform the ceremony. I am merely clumsy. It appears that our afflictions are two of a kind.
I nod. I say thank you.
Everybody's used to blaming things on scorpions anyway, correct?
You get like a smirk and a nod. Thank you.
I like this you better.
And
And
you
he
see
kind of offers Tamori like Not like a high five, because they don't do that, but like he offers after the tea ceremony, he actually gives Tamori a solid, non-condescending bow.
Oh, well, this is a whole new person. We've
Who stole my scorpion?
stole my
He's not
scorpion.
He's not a jerk all the time, only when he finds it's going to be advantageous for him. He's not a terrible person. He's just kind of a dick.
But yeah, you see Agurro kind of look at you. It's just like, are you sick?
Me?
No, to Soshi.
Oh, are you sick?
No more than some.
Let me check
I'm
the
sure
back of your
some of
neck.
us here
Hold
have-
on.
Some of us here have worse afflictions than others. Don't worry about me.
Yeah, you are being a little strange.
And he does narrow his eyes.
I would even go. So I don't know what the role would be for this, but I kind of want to. When Tamori went to slap Soshi, what are the odds they might have felt what was under his kimono on the shoulder? Could that be an investigation? I'm just. I figured I'd throw this rather than keep it completely 1,000,000% silent. I figured I'd bring it a way of maybe bringing it to the group for drama and fun.
Talking about the harness, right?
Yep.
What do you want me to do?
Probably an investigation with needing a raise, I think, given the momentary contact.
There's the slightest form of contact. I would say, if you want to explore that avenue, Mori, it would need to be an investigation roll from you, and you would need at least 2 raises, so that would put your TN at about 25.
And he wouldn't be resisting because he was so busy trying to deflect the blow that he actually wouldn't have actively even thought about it being a thing.
Yeah.
So you said it would be TN would go to 25?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll do it. Fuck it.
Okay.
Let's see if it's worth it. Investigation.
Okay. Not enough.
I know.
Excuse me. Like I said, there's an abundance of cloth that kind of bunches up at the back of his neck, on his shoulders, especially given that one of his sleeves is kind of rolled up a couple of times, like folded in half again, and then pinned to or held in place, rather, his kimono. There's a moment where it looks like you could see something, but you also don't know if that's just something that he wears underneath to kind of keep whatever's left of his stump close to his body, or something like that. But there was some kind of like a strap. But as far as like anything fishy, there's nothing of that to find. But you also don't know what kind of accoutrement somebody would have when dealing with like a lost limb.
Yeah.
So
I don't know if Tamori would investigate further, because my first thought is, a girl said that you were acting strange. It's like, yeah, you are acting strange. Let me see the back of your neck. But I don't know if I want to investigate that at the moment.
Yeah, he wouldn't. I was thinking more when she slapped him initially, and he was getting out of the way, that momentary contact. He definitely wouldn't permit like any kind of touching of him or looking closely, especially at the back of his neck. He doesn't like being touched.
Yeah.
So, shall we be off?
But yeah, Agurro stands up. And there's a moment where you see him kind of wobble and catches his.
I'll just hold his elbow.
You want to hold his weenus?
I'll hold his weenus.
Ooh.
Actually, I'll just put his arm on my shoulder just in case, and I'll be like, I'm just doing this because it's comfortable for me, buddy.
That's first base for him.
Yeah, shoulders are all the rage.
Touching weenuses? What?
Yep. It's an erogenous zone.
For him, it is. But when he stands up, he does kind of look at Soshi. You were away from everyone. Could we see the back of your neck just to make sure you don't have the crisscross scar?
That is true. You were away with everybody, from everybody.
And you are acting strange.
By being
nice.
You want to examine me for potential corruption on account of the fact that I'm being nice.
Yeah.
And he's trying he's edging that with he's putting an edge on that.
Yeah, no, it's lost on him. Like, I know what you're doing, but he's just like, yes, exactly, you understand.
And I'm gonna roll a
I see what's going on here, and I'm going to step in. Friends, we are all a little out of our sorts. And I look straight at Agurro. He's fine.
I mean,
I'm fine.
I'll roll deceit to.
We are all fine.
Get him to stop asking questions. I'm fine with that.
Once Doji vouches for you, he kind of puts up his hands.
To the best of my knowledge, I don't have the crisscross scars.
To the best of your knowledge, yeah, you don't have the crisscross
scars. To the best of my knowledge. I mean, I'll check when I get home, but
now you were.
I'm not going to do that in front of them.
I look at you and I go, now, do not take this as an insult, but when the entire battle was happening, you were not there.
And I explained myself.
I know you did.
I mentioned I was going for rice,
I understand.
And you all set off without me before I got back.
Do you have the rice?
I said that when I first got here. He reaches into his pack and pulls out a 2-pound bag of rice.
Hold on, I understand that.
But the rice.
You should know that I would need to ask you. And as a show of trust, I pick up my hair and I turn around and I show him the back of my neck.
I did not ask for that. Because
it doesn't matter.
You were not the word.
You were not. You cannot take the word of a spider demon. If we were, didn't you hear the reports? How several of them took my shape to attack my clan?
Yes, I believe I was one of the people that made those reports.
Yes. So you should, if you are a, how can I say this in a tactical
way?
You know what? I will use my history to quote a scorpion's saying about always being careful. Like some famous scorpion.
Okay.
Let's
see what you get.
Yeah, I'm gonna look. Lore. This will definitely be heraldry.
I'll let that slide.
A 9. I probably misquoted him, but he gets the gist.
Completely.
Wait.
I don't laugh.
Hold on. I also have lore. Wait a minute.
Yeah, but do you have heraldry?
What the fuck is that?
You
No, I have intelligence.
a subtype.
I have theology. Fuck.
I also have theology.
Fuck.
No.
I have theology and Shugenja. That's about it.
We're good at praying stuff. I understand what you are saying, and I am not, probably contrary to what you might be thinking, being evasive. What I am doing is taking the word of the people that I have come to trust. If you were being possessed, controlled, or otherwise, much like last time, I would know it. Observing all of you is one of my talents. And if I were turned, I assure you, I'm not done yet. If I were turned, I assure you, I would have had ample opportunity to strike at any of you that I chose. Perhaps while you were carrying your large friend and not paying attention, or perhaps when you were lost in ennui at the river, unarmored and unarmed. Or during the tea ceremony. I could list the numerous times that you've left yourselves completely unguarded.
One, I am never unarmed. Do not underestimate me on that part. Two, you could be playing the long game.
Why play the long game? If you all died here and I was the only one to report back, I would have the only story worth reporting. I could weave whatever tale I liked. The spiders could have all been dead.
The fact that you're so worried to just show me the back of your neck worries me more.
You're missing the entire point of what I'm attempting to say.
What were you going to say,
If
Ray?
I remember correctly, their blood is corrosive, yes?
Not all of them. The ones we originally fought weren't. These were, but these were bigger. And to be honest, I don't know if these that we just fought could even take the shape of a humanoid.
Well, I know their blood was a different color.
Correct.
And with that, he looks down at Doji's waist. Your wakizashi, please. And he immediately, without any hesitation, runs it over his forearm.
How?
Just blade, just a cut. Just a cut right along the...
but you're using a second hand to demonstrate what you're doing.
Yeah, sorry. What you would probably do then is you would make a nick... Actually, no, this could be more fun. Tamori. And then he holds up his arm. Make a slash here.
No hesitation.
Do make sure it's between the kanji.
I almost fucking drop a girl. I'm like, yoink, and I get out of there. And this is because you fucking evaded my fucking slap. So I just
That is why I am giving her the chance to do it, because I know the chance to do it.
Yep.
Because he would absolutely adore this.
So this is going to be a...
It's not an attack. I'm just literally having them run the blade over his arm. If he's trying to take a limb, this becomes a different scenario.
Yeah. So
no. If I see that happening, I'll even step in.
Yeah. So it's going to be a kenjutsu roll.
Okay.
It's going to need to be 2 raises to control yourself.
All right, let's forego the roll. Tamori just holds the blade, and I run my arm over it. There's no need to make this complicated.
But also,
this isn't complicated. This is just to see.
No, but this is also my fucking strongest suit. I'm literally ranked 3 in this one.
If I lose my other arm because you want to show off, I'm going to be very angry. This shouldn't have... Because if I see Tamori winding up for this, or bring the arm back, this is no longer a thing. This is me stepping back.
Actually, I have a better idea.
Okay.
before I do it, I'm not gonna roll Kenjutsu. I am gonna literally just nick you, but I'm gonna roll perform and make it seem like I'm gonna hurt the fuck out of you first, and then I'm just gonna nick you at the end. You ready?
And then I will, I will roll my composure to make sure I don't, which would be what? Sincerity?
Sincerity.
Yeah.
So I'm not actually fighting.
Is the specialty.
No, you're rolling your performance.
Damn. Yeah. I'm
17.
a trained performer.
Yeah, 17 against a 23. Yeah. There is a big show. There's too much of a show being made about this cut. And you see right through the whole kind of circus act that is being performed.
They probably have like crazy eyes.
Yeah.
I think like after like the 5th flourish, he just kind of like idly flicks his arm out onto the tip of the wakizashi and then pulls it back.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he, without thinking really, because now he's really aggravated that he had to do this because people wouldn't believe him, he kind of flicks the blood and he aims it at, because of that display, aims it at Tamori. So if I am possessed and acidic, this is going to be a surprise for me, but it's mostly just to prove his point that he's not.
How can I dodge this shit? I want to dodge it.
Yeah, blood is not because he's not acidic in any way, shape, or form. It just kind of flies out, so there's no real way to hit you, unless he would like to just rub his arm around you. But you do see regular red blood fly out of his wound as he flicks his arm.
I look at Agurro. I go, "Are we satisfied?"
Oh, yeah. This is my fault. Sure. Yeah, this is my fault.
I look at Tamori. I go, "Are we satisfied?"
Yeah.
And I reach out for my wakizashi.
Yeah. And Agurro does look at it.
And I look at you, and then I hold on. I look at Soshi, and I bow deeply. And I go, apologize.
You did it.
I bow deeply, and I go, I apologize. We are all on edge.
There goes his smartass comment because Doji did the right thing and apologized. Ugh.
Yeah.
Stupid proper etiquette. Disarming me of my
Agurro just leans into Tamori more, and he's just like, I told you that you gotta stop at 3. You can't keep going past 3.
Okay, so I don't know where this confidence comes from, but all of a sudden, Tamori looks Agurro dead in the eyes and says, "I was trying to show off for you," and winks. Like, just I don't know where.
And he just quickly
freezes,
blows on the wound, and it closes because magic.
It's magic.
So magic. There's a little tune.
Oh yeah, yeah. There's no tune. There's no tune. It's a lie.
There's a little tune that my sister, the matchmaker, always whistled every once in a while.
Mm-hmm.
I look at both of them and I start to whistle that tune as I walk away.
Do I know what that tune means?
No.
You've never met my sister.
Right, but Agurro.
If you met my sister in game, you would be married by now.
Yep.
Oh, okay.
Yep. But
no, not to her.
No, not to her.
Guys.
She's married.
Does Agurro know that jingle?
Yeah, he does. And it does nothing to help him come out of his catatonic state.
That's exactly the why I did it, because he would be blushing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. He immediately turns around. He's just like, we got to make sure that we're not leaving anything behind. And just tries to hide his face from everybody.
Okay. I think the only thing that we took out was the tea set, dude.
Yeah, just in case.
Okay. Do you need any help?
No. You can keep going. You can move. You can keep.
All right.
Fascinating.
But yeah, you continue moving down towards following the river to the village.
Yep.
Night falls. Do you want to push forward or do you want to kind of make camp?
I asked Doji that.
How
question.
far are we from the village?
If you push, you could probably make it before morning, like right as
We need to rest.
Nope.
All right. Let's rest then. Apparently we have rice.
Yeah, apparently we have rice.
Yeah, right.
Are you sure we can't push on?
We can, but then we'll probably get there before morning, and we're gonna be expected to appear before everyone of importance, and I don't think we'll be in any condition to properly relay what happened, working on probably...
Oh, they already know what
Those-
happened. We've relayed it to them.
Excuse me?
Your relaying of what happened was being relayed to them in real time.
I would like to do a spellcraft roll, because I actually have it.
Oh, you do?
35.
my
Okay.
gosh.
If that was a
This is
thing.
some fucking high numbers.
He wasn't lying.
That is a spell. You didn't see him chant or pull a scroll out in any way, shape, or form. So it would be impressive if he managed to do that under your nose like that.
Well, seeing that I was a little frazzled, I would probably chalk it up to me just not noticing in the moment.
Mm.
And I look at you, and I go,
You do remember him sifting through his scrolls.
okay.
So he might have done it.
That... You know what? This is huge. I put my hand on your shoulder, and I say, that was ingenious.
Immediate flinch.
And I look at you,
there-
honesty, I
like
go,
for just a second,
yeah?
the same movement that he made when Tamori went to slap him
Yeah.
came up, except this time the two prominent fingers were aimed right at your esophagus.
I don't even move.
And then he checks it back.
I look at you, and I go, that was ingenious. If we didn't make it back, they would have known.
I know. That's why I did it. Please don't touch me.
Fair enough. A scorpion that doesn't like being touched. You are a strange bird.
Yes, well, we are all not quite to our standards, are we? We had a sad crane. We had a... just let's forget this ever happened.
I think you should finish the sentence.
Well,
I
actually-
appreciate your esteem.
As we continue to walk, part of the history I would know. I tell one of the stories about the first crane and how she was sad.
Yeah.
Is part of our nature, friend.
Yeah, Lady Doji.
We have big hearts and we feel deeply.
Well, while Doji is telling this story, I'm subtly continuing to walk. So whether he knows it or not, he has to keep pace with me to keep telling the story.
Oh no, I'm
Because-
walking ahead of everybody.
Good, perfect.
Yeah.
The idea is so she doesn't want to stop. He wants to keep going.
Oh.
There's a small, side eye from Tamori. Soshi, is there any reason that we can't rest? We can take turns sleeping.
I prefer not to sleep under the stars.
There's a temple not too far from here. We could stop there.
A temple
could.
would be perfect.
Oh, that would be perfect.
Let's go to the
Perhaps
temple
this one will not be riddled with the dead or visions of awful things.
I don't know with our luck lately.
Because I have not slept around the group yet, and I'd rather not do that.
You haven't slept around with us?
Nope.
No, not yet.
Has not shared a sleeping bag with Tamori Mori.
Everybody seems so emotionally unavailable. That's really what it comes down to.
Excuse me. I have so many emotions all at once.
So many.
I've experienced none of the ones that would encourage coupling.
Well, you're in the wrong coupling.
But you see Agurro kind of bend down, start to look at the ground around him. He looks up at the sky, and he starts heading off in a direction, and he does lead you to an abandoned temple.
Abandoned. There's probably ghosts. And Tamori says it out loud.
So, seeing our luck lately, screw this noise. I sneak up.
Are we stealthing? I'm ready.
Oh yeah, I'm stealthing up.
Me too. Let's go.
Okay.
I am so proud of them right now for taking the non-direct, dishonorable, stealthy route. There's a reason this is a low skill. I am so proud of them right now.
It's not a low skill for me, baby. I just rolled a 37.
Jesus.
I'm sorry. I'm big, but I'm
19.
Really...
I can't roll for shit.
Since I rolled a 37, can I please sneak up on Doji for the love of fuck?
Well, you're going off in different directions.
Damn it.
Agurro, the moment you say that there might be ghosts, kind of just stops his forward momentum and just kind of sits there.
And then
What's the weather like?
And then I stealth. And then
and then everybody just fucking fucks off and sneaks up on the temple grounds. The night is cooler. It is still kind of in those transitioning months, in that transitioning kind of time period, from winter to spring. So tonight is a little cooler. So there's a light fog on the floor, maybe 2 or 3 fingers high.
So what I would like to do is I would like to ask the group to stop for a moment, and while we're kind of all keeping to the low ground near the fog, and then I begin to whisper a chant, and the mist seems to coalesce, and another me forms out of the fog in full view of the temple.
Okay.
27, and that is... I may leave the area of the effect, the illusion will remain in whatever position it was when you left for as long as you continue maintaining the spell.
Yeah.
So basically, there is another me out past the mist. So anybody looking in from the temple will see somebody standing there looking at the temple to kind of draw their attention while we sneak around and can observe whether anyone comes out to deal with it.
Okay. You don't see anyone react to it, but you do hear what sounds like footfalls moving away from the temple.
Question, seeing that we were coming into the temple for different angles, maybe somebody would see what's...
Yeah, let's see.
Eeny, meeny, miny, mo, Will.
No, I'm gonna assign numbers for everybody.
Okay.
So the moment the image comes up and all of you kind of see this shape of Soshi kind of coalesce together and appear to be standing in front of the temple itself in the middle of the grounds, you all hear the footfalls kind of rushing away. There's a moment where you hear the gasp as Agurro is trying to figure out where the noise is coming from. Very much almost like trying not to be afraid, but you can definitely hear that he is afraid.
You spooked.
You spooked him. Because he was just fine coming to an abandoned temple until you said there were ghosts.
Yes.
And
I hope
now
we cuddle.
ghosts is a very valid thing to him now that there are noises, especially disembodied noises like this. But it is the doji that notices three shapes kind of scurry off from the rear of the temple towards the forest that surrounds it.
Humanoid shapes?
Yeah, bipedal.
I'm going to maneuver to cut them off.
Still stealthing, or are you going to break your stealth to try
No,
and
I'm
catch
just
them?
stealthing.
Okay, so you're going to need to roll stealth, and you're going to need to spend at least two raises. So you're looking for at least 25.
It's agility. Can I use my kami?
Sure.
To awesome.
Yeah.
I'm focused on the spell. I have no idea what's going on right now.
Yeah. No.
Yeah.
35.
Okay. Without even breaking a sweat, you rush forward, still trying to keep to the shadows, trying to keep yourself low, and you come across in such a way that you can shoot around and cut them off, or at least kind of force them to head in a direction that'll put them in a direct contact with Tamori Mori. But as you come around and put yourself in front of them, you see all three shapes kind of stop, and immediately you see two of them pull what looks to be these very rusted, nicked katanas, and the third one kind of steps behind one of the other ones, and excuse me, you see what looks to be a hankyu, a little small short bow, come up out of its robes. But the thing that sticks out about the three of them is that, excuse me, they come up to about chin height for you, and all three of them have this long tail that kind of snakes out from underneath their cloaks.
Hold on. I've met one of these.
You have?
Wait, are these yeah, I met them. They were one was a friend of the crab.
Mm-hmm.
Do I remember what they were called?
Nezumi.
I hold my hands out like this because I'm assuming they're allies of the crab being all the way out here.
Maybe.
I go, mean no harm. Didn't know what we were dealing with. And I'm holding my hands like this.
Yeah. You hear the one with the bow, kind of growling and yipping and clicking. And you see one of them, the one that's not in front of them, start to lower the sword. The other one still keeps his sword out in a defensive posture. And then you do see that clawed kind of 4-digit hand come out and slap its arm. And there's a little bit of a yelp, and the hand.
So I know who's in charge.
And the hand with the sword starts to come down.
I give a little nod to the apparent leader. Give me 1 second, guys.
Yeah. But Tamori Mori can hear that there is a conversation happening. You can hear Doji saying, "Mean no harm. We didn't know what we were dealing with."
So on the one hand, I should be responsible and go be with Doji, but on the other hand, I want to be a menace and scare the shit out of Agurro. What is there?
Sorry, puppy box had to go back in the puppy.
Yeah, so torn by what you should and could do.
I think I'm gonna scare the shit out of Agurro instead of actually be. Doji can handle himself. If it's a real problem, he'll scream.
Okay. This is true. So go ahead and roll your stealth again, because I'm assuming that you're going to come around
Yep.
undetected.
I am so undetected. So fucking undetected. 33.
This is not a good dice pool for him. Oh, this is garbage.
Yeah, it is. Oh, yeah, it is.
Yeah. 21. He's nowhere near 33.
Hold on. Can I also roll athletics? Because I would like to sneak up and then like absolutely scare the shit out of him and like think that he thinks he's under attack. I'm so excited. I want to be a menace today.
So
this is my energy.
This is definitely more chaos than you've brought before. Do you want to roll jujitsu instead to try like to put him in a grab?
Fuck it. Absolutely.
I don't know how you plan to use athletics to scare him, so that's why.
Yeah.
24. He doesn't know you're coming, so that will grapple him. And immediately, as you pounce on him and figure 8 your hands and legs around him, he takes off. Like he does his best to not scream. Like he is holding in his fear. He's just like as he just trucks forward towards Soshi. So Ben, if you could give me a jujitsu roll to roll out of the way as this massive form of these two idiots come rushing and barreling towards you.
Yep.
I would say that is an accurate description of what is happening right now.
Yep.
Okay.
Why would we do something if we're going to rest anyways? I might as well have fun first.
Of course.
Good job. Well done.
That's just how it works.
So, first off is the irritation, because we were sneaking up on this place in case we were being attacked, and we had a tactical plan in place. And then I look over my shoulder, he's running. Tamori's probably laughing their ass off right now. And I'm like, well, there goes literally any semblance
100%.
of surprise, caring, or otherwise. And
All of myself.
He just walks forward out of the mist, and he walks through his image, and the image dissipates into fog as he passes through it. And
like a ghost. Like a ghost!
Doji, the children are playing again, and if there's something going on, let them know. And he keeps walking towards the temple.
So I look at the I look at the 3 in front of me, and I go, apologies.
Assure whoever you're talking to, we are literally no threat at all to them.
I look at them and I go, apologies. Like I said, we did not mean any harm. We were just looking for a place to sleep for the night.
The two with the swords look to the one with the bow. There's another translation. And then the one with the bow reaches up and pulls the hood back, and you see this humanoid rat, the long kind of snout. There is this very dark kind of like milk chocolate brown coloring to their fur. There is this white kind of crescent moon that comes from the kind of tear duct of the eye up and around the ear and down into the white of the belly. But it steps forward. Okay. You sleep.
Thank you. Are you here by yourselves or here with the crab allies?
Crab.
And I give a small nod. I don't bow, but I give and I go, have a safe night.
We watch. You sleep.
I look and I go, thank you.
And it
1
it
second.
relays some orders, and you see all three of them.
Well, hold on. One second. 1 second. Crab friend. You want to speak to him?
You have crab?
Yeah. Hold on. Agurro, come here. No one else come over here. Just Agurro.
And do a simple act of saying, "Don't worry, we'll watch while you sleep." The 3 rat people will murder all of us while we are.
Oh, no, they won't. No, they won't.
What could possibly go wrong? But you hear Aguro just yelling. He's like, I can't. There's a spider on me.
Agurro, get over here.
And you see that he comes around, and Tomorimori is wrapped around him like a backpack.
You do realize that's Tomorimori on your back.
Tamori's still laughing. Like, I've been laughing this whole time. He could have figured it out.
He
now sees I'm
and
standing next to 3 ratkin.
Yep. And he immediately just kind of like lifts his arms up to just throw you back onto the floor, and he comes rushing over like a little kid in front of puppies. And you see him just kind of like slide onto his knees in front of them, and he just like bows low. And they start talking.
He speaks he speaks their language?
No, like he
Oh, I was gonna be like, holy shit, something I didn't know about my friend.
No, he starts talking to them like very simple kind of childlike syntax.
Yeah.
Like this is definitely a side of that you haven't seen of Aguro before, but he definitely suddenly has become like a scholar in front of you, of like just his countenance and how he like defers to them, how he automatically knows to use this very simple change to his dialogue. And they're going back and forth.
I make a mental note of how he's speaking to them in case I ever have to speak to them again.
Okay. And at the end of it all, he thanks them, and you see him produce one of his rice balls, and he gives it to the one in charge. And he also offers his gourd. And you see them eagerly take a sip out of each of the 3. Just takes this long swig. And after a moment, they exchange bows one more time, and then the one with the bow steps forward and just kind of brings their head down and puts the top of their head to the top of Aguro's head. And then they start to make into the forest. And you see him just kind of sit back on his haunches, and he just kind of has this very happy aura to him. This is definitely a side that Tomori hasn't seen before.
Well, I'm recovering from my horrible fall.
Such a height.
It's such a height, yeah. I like that the people that act like children are the biggest ones out of everybody in our party. Like, we're like literal giants. And Soshi and Doji are like, stop, please.
Yeah, you're easily at least 3 feet taller than Doji.
Huge.
Huge.
He's 3 feet.
Monstrous.
Doji's 3 feet. I'm like 6'2" or something. Doji's not 3 feet.
No. I'm exaggerating. But
that's great.
Yeah, you see a girl just kind of like slap his thighs as he gets up. Big old smile on his face.
Are they old enough to have alcohol?
Yeah.
Oh.
They have to be at least 3 years old.
Is that old enough?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you're the expert on rat people.
I mean, I'm not, but... And you see him catch himself. But, once you spend some time with them, you learn some things.
Well, they said they were gonna keep an eye around the area for us so we could sleep in peace. Let's get
Yeah.
some sleep.
Those ghosts are insane here.
Oh yeah, they said there's no ghost here.
The entire time this has been going on, so she has already entered the temple, has taken a look around.
Yeah.
Mhm.
He was not attacked by anything, I'm assuming.
No.
And so how many floors is the temple? Is it just one big area, or are there different rooms where the Shikenja
the temple
might
itself
have
is really small. It looks like it was one of the minor fortunes. So there's not a lot. There is the abandoned kind of water well outside, but there's only the main room, and there is one side room that looks like it's where whoever was here was resting, because there's 3 piles of like gathered foliage to kind of create a bedding.
Is there a basement?
There's no basement. There's a floor
So-
space underneath, but that's it.
So while they were, because that conversation was taking quite a bit,
Mhm.
I offer a quick prayer to the fortune of the shrine.
Okay.
Because that's what you do when you're a Shigenja.
Mhm.
And then I go to the side room and begin making myself a bed up. And then I take the door to the side room and I close it.
Okay.
You already done with our
Is there
shit?
is there like a bar or a latch?
There is a small little kind of wooden catch to keep the door from sliding back and forth.
He locks it.
How are you done with our shit so quickly?
But if you would like to make a what would religion fall under?
Theology.
Theology. Yeah, lore. Make a lore check if you wanna see what fortune this is for.
It is I want to say it's an expert skill for me, but I'm not sure.
Mm,
I can't
You
really
are-
find it.
you are trained,
Yeah.
but you don't have an emphasis.
Okay, there it is. All right.
Yep.
Yeah, 18. So
18.
yes.
It's not hard. The big issue is that there are almost 1,000 minor fortunes. Like there is a fortune for everything. Like your toe feels bad, there's a fortune for that. Your rice came out really good, there's a fortune for that.
Of course.
Of
That makes sense to me.
course. This, however, is the fortune of Jizo. Jiizo. This is the fortune of mercy.
Then my prayer before I lock myself in the side room is that I vow to not verbally harm any of my companions until the next sunset.
Oh shit! I know that I didn't hear that, but I heard that.
Because he was thinking, what is the biggest mercy he could give? And initially his first thought, because he's pretentious and egocentric, was he will continue to give his advice and tactical assessments because that helps the group the most, because they can't do it for themselves. But he's decided that they get mad when he talks, so he's going to save them from his commentary.
Okay.
And he then shuts and locks the door.
Okay.
And he takes his pack and he puts it outside the door.
Putting the sock on the handle.
Yep.
So,
And then he will retire to a corner where he will begin to unstrap himself. And he will create an illusion of himself sleeping on a cot within view of the door. So if anyone pokes their head in to see, oh, what's Soshi doing? They're going to see him sleeping. But he's going to be off in a corner, buried under rags with his nightmare mask in. So when he starts screaming, it'll be somewhat muffled.
So the three of you, Soshi, Doji, Tamori, and Aguro, come walking into the temple itself. You can see the small rectangle of space. There is a door that looks to be closed off to the side that would lead to what you imagine is a side room. But there is this statue that looks like one of the minor fortunes, at least, of the realm of Rokugan. The inside of the temple is overgrown. Some of the flora has already started to reclaim the space. Excuse me. If you have theology or would like to attempt a lore roll.
I will.
Okay.
Oh, same.
Yeah, 15 and 15. Yeah, you recognize it as the statue for Jizo, the fortune for mercy.
Are you speaking?
So I smirk, and out loud, I say, I pray that my wife will have mercy upon me when she sees the tea set.
Yeah, and you see Aguro go over, stand next to you, and he claps his hands twice, puts them together. Like, I hope that your wife also shows you mercy for what you did to her tea set.
And then Tamori finishes it with the third one, and it's the same fucking prayer. I hope that your wife shows you mercy.
Is there like what was left of a shrine here or anything?
It doesn't look like the shrine is left over, but you do see that there are some offerings that have been left.
Is there like a little table?
Yeah, we can say there's enough left over that you can grab one of the makeshift tables.
Okay, so I will set up a little table. I will clean it with some water. And then I will put some incense on it. And my real prayer for mercy will be up for the entire village for what is coming.
Aww.
You see Aguro go over to the door. He tries to open it. Feels the resistance of the latch. Oh. Why does he get the room to himself?
Hey.
Because he got here before we did.
He probably scared off the ghosts.
There are no ghosts. The Nezumi told me so.
You sure about that?
Yeah. It wouldn't lie to me.
Already feeling the weight of the prayer that he took on pulling at him. Also, how egocentric is it that everybody else was praying, asking for stuff, and his first thought was how he can embody mercy as opposed to ask for a blessing?
Yeah. But you do see that the shadow of this massive crab is sitting there at the door, and you can see him put his face up to the rice paper. How big is the room? Is it comfortable?
It would be too small for you. Or too small.
It sounds
for
big.
Tamori. It is not.
You got space for activities?
Tamori doesn't even.
I am
attempt.
going to sleep now. I would ask that I not be disturbed. I have prayers I must attend to.
Okay.
Tamori
Thank you.
walks up to Aguro and asks for his gourd. This is like a nightcap to go to sleep.
All right. He pulls it out from his belt and he shakes it. He's like, "Not a lot left, so you can the rest of it if you like."
Thank you. How much is left?
The equivalent of 3 shots.
Tamori pours out 3 cups worth, gives one to Doji and one to Aguro, and then takes one themselves.
I nod.
For a good night's rest.
Thank you.
Yeah,
Take
he
it.
takes it.
Another perfect metaphor for the group.
Tamori finds a corner to just like lean their back up against to go to sleep.
Yeah, and you see that Aguro kind of puts himself down in the opposite corner.
Mhm.
And if
Doji, you sleeping?
Nope. Good talk.
Thank you. Thank you, Peter. I said, are you sleeping, Doji?
No, sorry.
Yeah.
The dog and I'm sorry.
Gotcha.
No, I'm not gonna sleep the first part of the night. I'll actually go to the front doors, find a comfortable place like in a shadow where I could sit but have an eye on the road.
Would you like to take turns?
If you want.
Then wake me up when it's my turn.
Fair. I will when I'm sitting there. I'm sitting there with the lion's katana on my shoulder, like because I'm sitting. And you know what? I'm gonna say a prayer to his ancestors to guide him. You know, he died with honor. Yeah. And I promise that I will take this blade back to his family.
If both of you could give me an investigation roll, just for perception. Yeah.
Ooh.
Tamori and Doji, just for
16.
the perception of it.
Peter, stop. Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah, what the hell? We're both like in sync today.
Wow. Look at you. You're so crazy, man.
He's so crazy.
You both notice that as Aguro kind of gets himself comfortable, that he keeps lingering his look on Tamori. Like there are moments where he just kind of like looks over at Doji, he looks at the door, kind of looks over at the back entrance where you had the chat with the Nezumi, but then he always will like come back to Tamori and just kind of sit there and
do I notice this, or am I just like?
Oh yeah, you notice. You can notice it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you both notice it.
You can't have the bedroom. It's mine. I've already taken it.
Yeah.
I kind of do one of these hushed whispers of, "What's wrong?" Because he's right across from me, and Tamori is now thinking something is up.
Yeah, and he just shakes his head. Nothing.
Hold on. Can I roll a perception to see if I hear that?
Oh yeah. You can hear Aguro's response.
Because then the hard eye roll that comes from me, like, are you kidding me? Is she that blind?
They.
Are they that blind? Oh my god. Okay. I need to call my sister.
Yeah, you see Aguro just kind of shake his head like, no, there's nothing. I thought I saw something. And
I thought I could handle I thought me and my wife could handle all this, but clearly this is beyond our pay grade. I'm gonna have to write a letter to my sister.
Yeah, and you see him just pull the hood up and over so that he just completely hides his face.
If you saw something, can you tell me? Because I don't want to just sit here if something
No,
happened.
no. It's nothing. It's nothing. I just must be tired. Good night. And you see him turn away.
And then before they try to like drift off to sleep, they're like, "It's the ghost." Just to like implant that a little bit more. He seemed to be really scared of it, and just like the fucking snakes. So
yeah, but he just kind of sits there, puts his head against the wall. He's like, "There's no ghosts. There's no ghosts."
Ghosts. There are ghosts. Yeah.
But the night goes by without incident.
Mm-hmm.
Well, except for one.
Yeah. There
Do we hear Soshi's screams or no?
There's the tiredness that all of you have, the exhaustedness that all of you have kind of lived through, manages to just to weigh down enough to not really hear any of the muffled screaming.
Mm-hmm.
There's noises here and there, but then you'll also hear like the footfalls of the Nezumi kind of running around.
Okay.
So it's easy to not zone in on the Soshi being responsible for the noise.
Heard.
But in the morning, you all awaken. Some of you are more refreshed than others. And as you continue your trek back to the town, I think this is a good point to call it for tonight.
Yep.
As always, thank you guys for being a part of this. As always, thank you to the audience for joining us. I couldn't do this without you. And down the line, let's let everybody kind of plug whatever they're doing right now, where people can find you on the internet. Starting with you, Ray. What are you up to, and where can people find you?
I'm actually starting to enter the world of burlesque in the Tampa Bay area.
Okay.
Not as a burlesque performer, but as a singer while people are doing burlesque to my songs. So I'm really pumped about that.
That sounds awesome.
That's so cool.
It is happening in July. I don't know how I'm going to focus with a bunch of bouncing tits in front of me. I don't think I'll know the words, but I'm going to practice. I'm going to get it right.
I don't know if I could get that with bouncing tits in front of me either. So
it's honestly going to be a struggle bus, but I'll be there. My Instagram handle is @Rei, REI of Moonlight. So hopefully I'll be posting about that very soon, and you'll see me with a bunch of really, really beautiful femmes taking off their clothes.
All right. So field trip to Tampa is in order.
Mm-hmm.
Pete, what are you up to? Where can people find you on the internet?
Yep. Oh, Peter, well, you're fucking muted, so.
Yeah, man, it will help to unmute yourself.
I'm actually currently working on the second edition of Rotted Capes.
Nice.
We have a new Kickstarter coming out soon.
Nice.
Tome of the Mind, which is our psionics book for 5th edition. Basically, we grabbed the psionics system we created for Arcanus and generalized it for basic D&D. We brought back the original races that were in the 3.5 psionics book.
Nice.
So we updated them to 5th edition. Yeah, it turned out to be a really fun book.
Thigh-creen all day, baby.
Actually, no, they weren't. There were no Thigh-creen in the psionics book. It was some other bug race.
Really?
That was like a humanoid bug race. It wasn't the Thigh-creen.
Okay.
Yeah. So we brought them all back, and then we have stats for like the blue, which are the psionic goblins.
Yeah.
And a bunch of the classic psionic monsters. So yeah, it's fun. It's an interesting twist on basically the warlock template for a class.
I like it. Ben, what are you up to? Where can people find you on the interwebs?
So yeah, I'll start by saying I'm not as big an asshole as my character is, so interacting with me is actually pretty fun. Well, if you're in the Northeast, near Portland, Maine, I'll be DJing at the end of April at Aura, with the night called Plague. I run the Lovecraft Farms RPG server, which is basically just a bunch of little indie games, nothing streamed, but it's a place where people can come together and try out new, smaller titles without necessarily needing the audience that a Twitch game would have. We recently did Alice is Missing, and it was a lot of fun. So we're going to do a couple more like that. You can find me on the Twitter at Rev_Ben_Powers. So Rev Ben Powers.
Powers. All right.
Reverend Benjamin Powers, yes. Yeah, that's it. It's all my plugs.
All right. So again, thank you guys. I feel it's good to come back to this. I had missed not only you, but these characters, because Tamori Mori is such a interesting ball of chaos.
I think that's just me.
I was gonna say, do you miss all the characters, Will? Really?
Oh yeah. I have a scorpion tattoo, boy. Like I'm all about the clan.
So what about the dragon tattoo that you're gonna get next? Is that that's on the way?
I'm not getting that at all whatsoever.
How dare you?
But as always, please take care of yourselves. Please know that if you need help, we take mental health on the channel very seriously. So it is okay to not be okay. Especially for people like Tamori Mori, who are definitely not okay.
We're never okay.
But please know that there are resources and there are people who want to help you. So if you're watching live on Twitch, there are phone numbers going up on the Twitch chat. They'll be up in the description box if you're watching on YouTube later. If you're not in the United States, there is a link going up as well. And that'll be accessible in the description box. So you can find the resources you need in the area that you're living in or closest to you as possible. So you can get the help that you need or that you desperately want or are looking to get, because avenues are there. They are available. All you have to do is take that first step. So please know that there are resources out there for you. As always, Mondays on the channel are for Vampire the Masquerade. It is a two-part storyline. One Monday you'll get a Camarilla storyline, and another Monday you'll get an Anarch storyline. They kind of interchange. Tuesdays are for Werewolf the Wild West or Legend of the Five Rings, as you saw tonight. And then every other Thursday we are doing a 7th Sea campaign. So you get to get some pirates and some booty, and maybe a mixture of both of them in equal parts, or sometimes more, one more than the other. It is a lot of fun. I like the system. And you can look forward to me being on the McStabber Studios every Wednesday starting soon, which is why I had to color my beard, as we take on a Dark Ages vampire game. So come see what clan I am and what shenanigans I'm going to be up to. And starting in June, we're going to go back to Dune on McStabbers. So there's going to be a lot going on, and there's going to be 5 days a week of action. So get ready. So if you like what you've done, give us a like, give us a follow. And as always, please take care of yourselves, take care of each other, and we will see you. When we see you, please have a good night. Bye.